in assault charges will face court tomorrow.
New detail emerges on day 6 of Ken Paxton's impeachment trial.
And Rocket star Kevin Porter Jr. pleaded not guilty to assaulting his girlfriend after an arrest on Monday.
Well, there's some much nicer weather rolling into Texas. Look at that. These are the high temperatures up in the Panhandle in the 70s. That's a good 30, 40 degrees cooler than it was just a couple days ago. We managed to get up to 100 degrees, but is that cool air coming in our area? We'll talk about that coming up in just a moment.
And the top-ranked Goliad Tigerettes were taking on a team with only 2 losses this year. We have highlights coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
New at 10, a shooting at a high school in St. Helena Parish in Louisiana left a student dead and caused a huge emergency response at St. Helena College and Career Academy's campus this afternoon. Law enforcement responded to the school and found one person dead. School staff on the campus said the student killed was a member of the football team. A third victim was airlifted to a children's hospital in Baton Rouge. The shooting suspect is a juvenile and a student at the school.
The court hearing regarding the 4 former Industrial ISD students will take place Wednesday morning. That's tomorrow. The 4 former baseball players are indicted on charges of organized criminal assault.
Braxton Cole Warren, Zachary James Kukler, Christopher Taylor McCrory, and Cullen Reed Stoneful, all former varsity players on the Cobra baseball team, accused of assaulting a younger player following a baseball game on April 27th. Victoria ISD Board of Trustees called a special meeting Tuesday night.
That's right. 25 News Now reporter Adarius McCormick in studio with more.
That's right. The Victoria ISD participating in their 2nd workshop in the past week. This week's workshop mentioned absenteeism and discipline. A presenter at the school board discussed the rise in chronic absenteeism for students. Chronic absenteeism is missing 10% of the academic school year. Board President Mike Mercer says this is their #1 priority since it goes hand in hand with discipline.
I think if we curb chronic absenteeism, that our discipline issues will start to diminish. 11% of our entire student body who have multiple referrals, multiple disciplinary referrals in our school system, that also correlates with that percentage that we have that are chronic absenteeism.
The board participated in several activities with VISD teachers and principals. They learned more about the everyday experiences with students. With this, they received clarification on what their job really means. These workshops help to get board members more acquainted with one another, administration, employees, and the community. Board President Mike Mercer wanted to thank the community again for their trust in the board. Don, Karina, back to you.
Adarius, thank you. Tuesday's session of the impeachment trial of suspended Attorney General Ken Paxton began about an hour late. Houston attorney Brandon Kamak testified he was hired by Paxton to investigate a complaint by Austin real estate investor Nate Paul. The Houston attorney said he stopped investigating after receiving cease and desist letters from top officials in the Attorney General's office who said he had been improperly hired.
A North Texas woman took her chances shooting video on her cell phone during a recent round of storms. Zoe Smith says Friday night, while standing outside her front door getting video of the dark skies, suddenly she felt an energy run through her body. She's not sure what the lightning hit, just that it was not her, but the force blew out the speakers of the headphones she was wearing. The National Weather Service says the odds of being struck by lightning in a given year is about 1 in a million. And I don't want to ever be that 1 in a million. Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. Mac, when are we getting some storms around here?
Well, I'm not sure that we're going to get storms like that, but we are going to get some much needed rainfall. All of a sudden, things are looking up in Texas. We're looking at 84 degrees at this hour of the night. We did manage to get up to 100, but it didn't seem that bad. We are looking at temperatures staying below 100 the rest of the week, and the rain chance comes in on Friday. We'll be talking about that coming up in a moment.
Mac, thank you. 4 earthquakes have hit Texas since Monday, including 3 in Karnes County. KSAT reports West Texas had an earthquake Tuesday. The United States Geological Survey reports the 3 quakes in Karnes County Monday ranged from 2.8 to 3.2 in magnitude. They happened between 3:07 p.m. and 6:56 p.m. Rocket star Kevin Porter Jr. pleaded not guilty Tuesday to assaulting his girlfriend after he was arrested in Manhattan on Monday. KTRK reports Porter released on $75,000 cash bond. The judge imposed a temporary order of protection. The 23-year-old Porter charged with felony assault and strangulation. Porter's 26-year-old girlfriend, former WNBA player Kisre Gondrasak, told police he struck her repeatedly in the face with a closed fist. Doctors said she suffered a fractured vertebra in her neck.
New footage shows TSA officers at a Miami International Airport going through travelers' bags and stealing money during security screenings.
Those 2 TSA agents are now facing charges.
It's your job to make sure that everything that goes through security is safe and it's not for your taking.
3 TSA agents arrested by police earlier this summer accused of stealing from passengers at Miami International Airport. Now, 2 months after their arrests, prosecutors are releasing new surveillance video allegedly showing the agents in action. The footage, recorded back on June 29th, appears to show one agent reaching inside a small bag to pull out a passenger's wallet. We've stopped the video here to give you a better look. The agent then stays with that bin on the conveyor belt until pushing it through and putting his hand in his pocket. In another clip, the same agent is joined by a colleague, the pair appearing to focus on the corner of a bag when one of them quickly pockets something, which according to police turned out to be $600 in cash. According to their arrest reports, this investigation started after MIA's federal security chief reached out to Miami-Dade police about a string of thefts that had taken place near this security checkpoint near Concourse E.
I'm actually fairly shocked because TSA is a person, people you entrust to, scan your bags, and especially when you have this no more than 3 ounces, it's like, well, hey, you're going to take my money now too? It's like, what the heck?
Miami-Dade police later arresting Labarius Williams, Josue Gonzalez, and Elizabeth Fuster after they say the trio not only stole from passengers, but were also caught conspiring on camera to distract them. All 3 now facing fraud charges as frequent flyers react to the video.
It's actually pretty shocking. I know I'm looking up, I'm feeling at my own wallet. I'm like, how much cash do I have in here? I'm like, okay.
5 former police officers from Memphis, Tennessee are facing federal civil rights charges. A grand jury indicted the ex-officers today for their involvement in the beating death of 29-year-old Tyre Nichols. Body cam video shows police pulled Nichols over for a traffic stop last January. He died several days later after the attack.
Earlier this afternoon, a federal grand jury returned an indictment charging 5 former Memphis police officers with violating Tyre Nichols' civil rights, resulting in Mr. Nichols' death.
The charges allege that 5 former Scorpion team detectives used excessive force, resulting in the death of Mr. Nichols, that they aided and abetted each other in using that excessive force, and that they failed to intervene to stop that excessive force.
The 5 officers were part of a special unit created to help curb rise in violent crimes. They are now facing multiple charges. They are also facing a federal civil lawsuit.
Victoria College's Lyceum Lecture Series kicked off tonight at the Leo J. Welder Center with a presentation by Joel Salatin. He is a backer of regenerative farming techniques and unique food philosophies that garnered both devoted followers and critics. Salatin, along with his family, operate Polyface Farm in Virginia, a renowned farm featured in books and documentaries like Food, Inc. The farm serves a wide customer base, supplying over 5,000 families, 50 restaurants, and 10 retail outlets. But most importantly, he wants to remind people that it is up to them to stir change.
That we're on an unsustainable trajectory in our food system in this country, but we can change that trajectory by participating, getting involved.
Salatin has written 12 books on regenerative farming.
The city of Victoria looking for volunteers for a cleanup in the east part of the Queen City neighborhood. We have more on that story on our website, crossroadstoday.com. So for your Vera poll tonight, we ask you, do you plan to sign up for the Queen City neighborhood cleanup? Yes, no, or maybe. According to these results tonight, 6% are saying yes, 94% stand at no, and 0% say maybe. Thank you for voting tonight.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10, 6 abortion initiative petitions, the latest in the push for reproductive care in Missouri.
Also ahead, a man died while hiking in the Grand Canyon Saturday.
Hi, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs with the Victoria Police Department. Victoria Crime Stoppers is seeking information regarding attempted thefts. On September 11th, 2023, at about 7:33 a.m., officers responded to a business in the 1400 block of East Mockingbird for an attempted theft of an ATM. No damage was done to the ATM and no money was taken. This same day at 8:35 a.m., officers responded to a second location in the 4800 block of North Navarro about an attempted theft of an ATM. This ATM was damaged, but no money was taken. A white Ford F-250 was stolen and used in the attempted thefts. Police recovered this vehicle. The offenders are described as 3 men. If you have any information about these attempted thefts, please call Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip by using the P3 Tip app on your Android or Apple device, or by going to crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. With the Victoria Police Department, I'm Detective Kelly Gibbs.
Abortion petition initiative has started in Missouri. Monday's hearing centered around language that could end up on a ballot. It's all part of an effort to reinstate abortion rights. Advocates want an amendment to the state constitution in Missouri. That amendment would be put to voters next year. But the ACLU and the Secretary of State fighting about language. Abortion rights advocates upset over the Secretary of State's current draft.
I use the term dangerous because this initiative petition probably, and that's the standard that I'm required to use, would probably eviscerate the laws in Missouri that are there to protect women that are going through this medical procedure.
No decision was made on Monday, but time is running out. Advocates need 170,000 signatures to get the issue on the ballot. A 55-year-old man died in Grand Canyon National Park while hiking Saturday. He was trying to hike from the south rim to the north rim in a single day, a distance of 21 miles. The Grand Canyon Regional Communications Center received an emergency call of a hiker in distress around 2 p.m. Saturday. Park authorities say the hiker became unresponsive and bystanders and rangers both unsuccessfully tried to resuscitate him. His death is under investigation by the Park Service and other authorities. The new COVID vaccine will be available later this week. The CDC signed off on the drug earlier today, recommending everyone aged 6 months and older to be vaccinated.
The decision comes with a steady rise in COVID-19 hospitalizations across the USA.
Updated COVID-19 boosters will be available by the end of the week as the CDC signed off on the vaccine, recommending it for everyone 6 months and older. The panel's recommendation coming just a day after the Food and Drug Administration authorized and approved the new vaccine, as the nation experiences a rise in COVID-19 cases and a growing number of Americans being hospitalized.
So COVID cases are going up right now. I imagine they will crest and come back down, but then by the middle of the winter, December, January, I would not be surprised if we see a slight increase in cases again, which is why it's important for people to get the new COVID-19 vaccine as well as their flu shot and the RSV immunizations if they're eligible.
The updated boosters made by Pfizer and Moderna have been developed to target variants that are currently spreading, mostly Omicron subvariants. The FDA approved the boosters for those aged 12 and older and authorized emergency use for children between 6 months and 11 years old. Researchers say the new booster can provide protection against severe disease and even death, especially for people who are elderly or have a weakened immune system. Leaders at the FDA releasing a statement encouraging Americans to get the booster once it's available. Writing, the public can be assured that these updated vaccines have met the agency's rigorous scientific standards for safety, effectiveness, and manufacturing quality.
Medical experts suggest consulting with your doctor to determine if the vaccine is right for you. Whether you have insurance or not, the shot in most cases will be free. Just reach out to your local healthcare center or pharmacy when it's available, which could be as soon as this week. Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Los Angeles.
One person drowned and another transported to the hospital in critical condition after becoming unresponsive in the water in Florida. One man pulled out of the water by lifeguards and taken to the hospital where he's still being treated. Before that, a 72-year-old man was also pulled out of the water. Despite life-saving measures, he did not survive. In the coming days, as Hurricane Lee kicks things up, the ocean will become even more dangerous. Do you agree with that, Mac?
Absolutely. In fact, all of the eastern seaboard will be getting some very rough surf and probably some coastal erosions, but at least they're not going to get a direct hit. As of today, folks, we went up to 62 days, so we set a new record and enhanced it for the number of days over 100 degrees or warmer. So we blew the old record from 2011. Coming up, we'll be talking about Lee and Margot and the whole family of hurricanes that are out there, and about your chances for rain. All that in just a moment. Well, good evening, everybody. Obviously, we have a change in the weather. In fact, we have a few little sprinkles being picked up in the cloud deck that's rolling into our area. The change in the weather is dramatic because this little frontal system has brought some nice fresh air to North Texas. Yes, they're 30, 40 degrees cooler than they were just a couple days ago. We didn't get the cooling today, but we're going to get some rain out of that frontal system. You can see how the front is right there. You can see the temperatures today topping out in the 90s to the south of it and in the 70s. That's the high temperature in the 70s in Amarillo and Lubbock. That was their high temperature. Can you imagine? They're probably running around in the streets enjoying that. The frontal system will sort of drift down a little bit farther south. We're still going to be in the 90s tomorrow, but we're going to be seeing more cloud cover, and then that front will be the focusing area for triggering some shower activity for much of central Texas and our area as well. We won't get as much as they get, but we'll get something. So all of a sudden, weather is more traditional here in Texas. Now, I used Future Tracker to go how far out in the future. We can go all the way to Sunday to estimate the amount of rain that we're going to get. Right here is Victoria. You can see we're in the blue. In the green, that's about a ½ an inch. In the blue, that's about 1 inch. So we may get a total over the course of 4 or 5 days of rainfall around here, and wouldn't that be nice? The problem is Friday night is football night, and so just check in with us in the afternoon on Friday, and we'll let you know if there's going to be any storms out there. Also, Saturday, I don't know if you know, it's church festival or garage sale or whatever, you might consider that I expect it to be raining most of the day on Saturday. So the front sort of wobbles around the area. It's not strong enough to push all the way south, but you can see how the rain bands will be rolling across that frontal boundary for the next couple of days. And it looks like, you know, Waco, the hill country, they're going to get a lot more, probably in the 2-3 inch range. So it's the first significant rain we've seen since when? Since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. Anyway, on the East Coast, things are not quite so funny. I mean, we're looking at Lee here. Right now, this frontal system is sort of helping keep Lee out over the waters, but that is going to wash out. That low is going to move away, and so Lee is going to get very close to the mainland right here. Now, the good news, it's hard to coach this. The good news is that Lee will not be a major hurricane. It's going to be down to a 1. But it is going to bring some nasty weather to much of the North New England coast. So they'll probably get tropical storm force winds, heavy rain, heavy beach erosion, that kind of stuff. But the hurricane force winds, category 1, will be basically in Nova Scotia and the Canadian Maritimes out here. So they're going to get the direct hit, and we don't have, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be a pretty weekend, but it's not a monstrous affair. And you can see how it sort of curves in, and then everything pulls away out to sea. So for us, for your high tomorrow in Port Lavaca, 94, a little bit of cloud cover, more cloud cover inland areas, getting up to 96 in the Cuero area. And yes, I think a shower or two tomorrow and Thursday, but the main event will be on Friday as the frontal system sort of rolls into our area and hangs around until Saturday. How about that? That's your 7-day forecast. Just reminding you that we have a QR code. Love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Mr. Gino with sports.
Thanks, Mac. We have the latest on the short-lived season of Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. That's coming up after the break. At a crossroads, the top-ranked team in the state is the Goliad Tigerettes, and they open district with a matchup against the Taft Greyhounds. The Tigerettes district win streak stays alive after a dominating performance over the Greyhounds. The Tigerettes finished the match in 3 sets, sweeping them 25-7, 25-10, and 25-10 again. Goliad's Kyla Hill had 20 kills on the night, and Isabel Sanchez totaled 36 assists. Maven Wunschitz served 4 aces, and Stormy Gutierrez led with 6 digs. They now improved to 24-3 on the season and 1-0 in district. The girls will head to Jordanton Friday and take on for a non-district game. Great job, girls. The Lady Flyers also dominated and swept its opponents tonight in the St. Joe Dome. The Lady Flyers won 25-14, 25-14, and 25-11 in the final set. The big performer of the night was Addison Ozuna with 19 kills, 8 digs, 2 blocks, and 18 assists. Sophomore Emily Strief had a good night as well with 9 kills. Abigail Brister, who is only a freshman, was big on defense with 10 digs and 1 ace, along with Anna Miori, who totaled 10 digs as well, but she got 3 aces to go with it. The Victoria West Lady Warriors traveled to Flower Bluff to take on the Hornets, and although each set was competitive, they could not come out with a victory, eventually falling in 3 sets. Scores were 25-17, 25-21, and 25-20. Hannah Laced had 7 kills on the night, but it wasn't enough. West will play CC Carroll Friday at Victoria West High School. Also, the Victoria East Titans lose 3-0 to Corpus Christi Mustangs. They will host the Calhoun Sand Crabs Friday at 5. The New York Jets hosted the Buffalo Bills last night, and although the Jets won the battle, they ultimately lost the war. Former Green Bay Packer quarterback Aaron Rodgers had an MRI done today, and it was confirmed that the Jets quarterback tore his Achilles, meaning his season is over. Now the 39-year-old will have to watch from the sideline and wonder if this is the last play of his Hall of Fame career. Dallas and the Jets will play this week, and it should be interesting since the Jets do not know who their quarterback will be. The Texas Longhorns are coming off a huge win over the powerhouse Alabama Crimson Tide. The Longhorns and Crimson Tide both battled back and forth throughout the game, but it was Texas who would prevail in Tuscaloosa. This was the first time a non-conference opponent on the road beat Alabama in 16 years. The Horns also broke the Alabama's home win streak game record, which was at 21. This was also the first time the Longhorns beat Alabama since 1982, when Texas was 14-12 was the score in that game. Now the Horns will prep for Wyoming and come as they are ranked number 4 in the nation, and we will see if they can make it to the national title or to its first ever college playoffs. Well, that's your sports. Donna, Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Gina. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. We'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, Frontier Airlines is offering 99% off some flights only for today.
Clifton cycle projected to be the most expensive to date. That's according to the ad tracking firm Ad Impact, which anticipates ad spending of $10.2 billion across all platforms. It projects the cycle covering this year and next year will be 13% higher than the 2019 to 2020 cycle's record of just over $9 billion. Frontier Airlines offering 99% off round-trip flights for travel by December 13th, but the offer is only good through today. You got an hour and about 27 minutes. The discount is on the base fare, not taxes or Frontier's many fees. It charges for things like carry-on bags, checked bags, seat selection, and snacks. Frontier says Fridays, Sundays, and some blackout days are excluded, as well as certain routes. I think I took a Frontier Airlines plane once. They're the ones that had the drawings of Orville and Wilbur Wright up front.
Oh.
Yeah, that was really disconcerting.
I'm willing to bet, though, with all those fees, it's going to be
about the same.
About the same. I would say so too. I'm willing to bet on that.
Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk.
I worry about when you got to get on the plane and go, oh, you want a seat? Well, that's extra, you know.
Standing room only.
Like you hanging on a bus in the subway.
They got room on that wing.
Oh my goodness.
Well, folks, we're looking at a good chance for rain as we get into the rest of the week. It's going to be coming in on the weekend, and I do believe that Friday night we'll have some rain, which is okay. It's going to be beautiful to get that rain. We need it. And Saturday looks a little damp as well. So consider, what your weekend plans are if you're traveling or, trying to do a garage sale. It's no fun when it's raining, but plan accordingly. So it looks like we can say goodbye to that streak of 100-degree days, and we don't expect any hundreds for the next 7 days.
Ooh, fingers crossed on that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Mac. Emergency crews rescued a horse that got stuck in a pool at a home in Union County, North Carolina over the weekend. The fire department sent a specially trained large animal rescue technician. They were able to lift the horse, whose name is Lexi, out of the pool. No one knows how she got into the pool, but reports say that she is safe now. Oh, look at her. Oh, I'm glad she's safe though. How did she get stuck there? I don't know. Maybe
she jumped in
went for a swim.
Oh, she didn't read the feet as to how deep it was.
Oh, that's what it was. That's definitely what it was.
That explains it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mac, and thank you, Dawn. Thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join us for sunrise starting at 5 a.m. tomorrow.